Okay, welcome to part something, whatever, doesn't matter, of my E3 roundup opinions. I'm going to talk about Nintendo now on E3 2014 press conference. Digital event it is. It's not a press conference. And yes, I'm doing Nintendo now first before Microsoft and Sony. And I gotta edit those, and just don't care to finish them. Like, I just don't have the same passion for Microsoft and Sony as I have with Nintendo. Like Nintendo, I can talk about for hours upon hours. I can talk about every single game. I have a passion for Nintendo that I just cannot find in Sony and Microsoft. Like, I love the games from Sony and Microsoft. I am really hyped for them. Freaking Uncharted 4 looks gorgeous. Just photorealistic, perfect looking 5-second trailer. Halo, it just looks amazing. Halo Collection, just fantastic. Batman Arkham Knight, just gorgeous open world game. Project Sparks, Little Big Planet 3, amazing customizable games. But I just don't have the spark to talk about them because the majority of the games are dark, gritty, hardcore action shooting experiences that I can't care for at all. And they all just kind of blend together, and I'm like just not caring about half of the stuff. But Nintendo, on the other hand, every game they announce has its own distinct style. I can analyze it, I can talk from my heart about it. And that's why it's so much easier for me to talk about Nintendo. It is much easier. I've already made my statement on Zelda, but I'll make my statement on the other Nintendo games. So, starting off with Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. It is now possible to play as Mii characters, and they had this incredible intro with Satoru Iwata fighting Reggie. It looked absolutely beautiful, and it was entertaining to look at. Unlike Sony and Microsoft, they put some humor in their conference. They had irony. They had a shit ton of irony in this. So, going back to the Mii characters. These characters are going to be highly customizable in the game. You can choose their movesets, you can choose whatever Mii you want to plaster on their face, and you can choose between 3 different types. So there is a ton of customization in these, and you can choose whatever B attack you're going to have for the characters. So they're pretty much going to be fully custom characters, on top of the fact that you can tweak the already existing characters in the game. The only downside, you can't play them online. But then again, nobody really plays Super Smash Bros. Online. It's a couch game. Yeah, just getting the newcomers for Smash Bros. Out of the way first, even though they were announced a little later. You can play as Palutena. She was leaked a little while ago, and surprise, surprise, she's in the game. And then you can play as Pac-Man. With no limbs. Actually has limbs. So he plays the cover version. I just couldn't... Like, I never played any other Pac-Man game except the first one, so I couldn't imagine what kind of moves that Pac-Man would have. I would never even visualize having Pac-Man in this game, but they did it, and he looks freaking awesome, especially when it turns into the old version of himself and starts like eating stuff. But it does kind of piss me off though. Why didn't I put him on my bingo card? Okay, look at the screen. This is my bingo card. It's pretty bad. Like, I'm not very creative. I think every character that they announced is far more imaginative than I could have ever thought of. Am I disappointed that none of these characters on this list are in the game? No, not at all. Like me, that's the only one I got right so far. The only one. I still have a little bit of hope for the Demon Lord, Girahim. I call him Demon Lord on this list. But like, come on, Excitebiker. Why didn't I put down Lil Mac? Why did I not see Lil Mac coming in this game? Excitebiker, really? Excitebiker? Why did I put that there? Oh well. The roster does look amazing. I have nothing to complain about. So we're moving on. No, actually, wait. There's more to talk about with Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers was a big part of this. Okay. So another thing related to Smash Brothers is that we have these figures called Amiibo. Well, not necessarily related to Smash Brothers because you can use these figures in other games as well. But anyway, you get these Nintendo figures: Mario, Link, Wii Fit Trainer. You put them on your gamepad, and a little computer player version of that figure comes in, beats up the opponent, and gets leveled up, and you can train it, you can fight it yourself, level it up, bring it to someone else's house, and you're going to have your little personal version of Mario who has your moveset and your own stats and everything. So your version of Mario is not going to be the same as your friend's version of Mario. So enough talking about the figures. They have Yoshi's Woolly World for the Wii U. This is probably one of the games that I can care less about. It just kind of seems like a little more poor version of Yoshi's Island. The art style looks gorgeous, it looks fantastic, and it's like if you put a lot of time into your art style, it's really gonna pay off. Because games are more than just gameplay, they are a visual experience, and this game shows that real well. And a lot of the other games that Nintendo showed off are like that. They had Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, which comes a little further down the line, but I might as well talk about it now. It's basically the DS game where you drew a rainbow roll, but now it's all in HD and it's made of clay. Because why not? Why not make it out of clay? It looks gorgeous. It probably took a shit ton of time to make it like that, but damn does it pay off because it looks gorgeous. Next up, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I wasn't expecting them to announce any more Mario games, but technically it's not a Mario game, it's Toad. It seemed like a pretty simple non-brainer thing for them to make. It uses the same engine from Super Mario 3D World, expanding the mini games from that game, but they're going really far with this, it seems. But let's just think about it now. Toad now has his own game. Toad is now starring in his own game. Now, if you thought Luigi's Mansion was a weird thing, if you thought Super Princess Peach was a weird thing, now it happened. Toad has his own game. Next up, there is Zelda on the Wii U. I've talked a shit ton about this game, and I should probably not talk about this one because then the video is going to be way too long. I can't resist saying it, the game looks gorgeous. I just wish we could get a little more of the game, not cut off as soon as it got good. We could at least see the enemy getting killed, right? This trailer was like the ending of Spider-Man 2 when we didn't even get to see Spider-Man kill off the Rhino. Like, this is a teaser right through, and it's not very typical for Nintendo to make teasers like these. When they show off their games, they really do show them off. They show off every little detail, but this one just kind of cut it off, just showed a little bit. But that little bit was gorgeous. It looks freaking fantastic. I was having a hard time getting used to the Link's look at first, but you know, I get used to it eventually. Told myself it looks fairly okay. So if you want to hear me talk more about Zelda, I have another entire video where I'm talking about this. I'm probably gonna come back and talk more about this. I'm gonna analyze the crap out of it. I'm gonna tear apart this trailer, look at every little detail, and I'm not going to leave one stone unturned. So moving on, we got Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now here comes the big shock. I'm not a fan of the Pokemon games at all, but you probably don't care about my subjective opinions. It is supposedly a remake of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire for the Game Advance, but with the 3DS, the new X and Y engine. So to me, the game looked identical to Pokemon X and Y. I thought it was some DLC, but apparently it is a brand new game. So after that, there's Bayonetta 2, which yes, still is exclusive to the Wii U. Now at first I said to myself, well, hey Nintendo, I haven't played the first Bayonetta. I don't really care about this. Can you give me one reason why I should care, why I should play this? Oh, they're giving it, they're including Bayonetta 1 in it. Perfect, now I have a reason to play it. Some might say you don't need to play the first to play the second, but others say, well, it's very story heavy, so you gotta play the first. But anyway, if you're worried about missing out or something, they're putting Bayonetta 1 in the second game, so you don't have anything to worry about. You're gonna get the full experience. Great job, Nintendo. Next up, Hyrule Warriors. Okay, my brain is processing now. Have I talked about this game before? Have I talked about it? Shit. I don't think I talked about it. So, I guess the mono truth is here then. What do I think of Hyrule Warriors? I gotta have some very subjective and very controversial thoughts on this game, right? Well, no, not really. I mean, it's Zelda, so that's why I should care. In a way, I think this game looks like a good thing for the Zelda franchise, to get its own little spin-offs, to allow us to play as different Zelda characters, the way that Mario has been milked throughout the years. I mean, you know, you can play as Zelda and Midna, Impa. Now that we're at it, we might as well create Zelda Kart and Zelda Tennis and Zelda Golf, Zelda Party. Why not? Bring the Zelda characters in other little spin-off games. Let us play as the Zelda characters. It's a cool idea. I just think that Hyrule Warriors looks very repetitive. But I can't help but feel it's a cool thing that you can be Zelda and you can shoot people with 10 arrows simultaneously, and the combos do look very impressive. But let's be honest, the game is going to be repetitive. You're gonna get tired of looking at the same combo time and time again. I also have a theory that the Wii U Zelda didn't get shown too much because they didn't want to overshadow this game. And that's a bit lame, that they don't want people to talk about Zelda for the Wii U because this game is right around the corner, alright? Next up, we already talked about Kirby, so let's go on to Xenoblade Chronicles X. Can't say much about. This one looks more like a very generic next-gen experience, but it looks pretty badass. Next up is Mario Maker. Now I thought they weren't going to have any Mario games, but apparently they couldn't stay away. So Mario Maker is basically another Super Mario Brothers, but you can make levels now! Perfect! Nintendo, I told you this so many times that you had to make this. I haven't told you personally, I just said it in my head many times, again and again. Make a Mario, let us make Mario games, let us make stages. Don't make all these DLCs and stuff. You can stop milking new Super Mario Brothers. Just allow us to make our own levels and we can be creative that way. It's really not a new Super Mario Brothers Maker, it's more just Super Mario Brothers Maker, because while you can switch back and forth between all the new graphics, it plays like the old Super Mario Brothers and it uses that engine, which is not a bad thing. Personally, when I'm playing this, I'm gonna be using the old graphics all the time because I find those graphics to be much more charming and much better, and I'm glad they're using the graphics from the first Super Mario Brothers and not, for example, Super Mario Brothers 3, because I'm probably like the only person in the world who thinks Super Mario Brothers 1 is better than 3. And at this point, it looks freaking cool. You can put wings on the enemies, you can stack the enemies on top of each other, and if we get an online community and we can download levels, that's gonna be freaking amazing. So moving on, Splatoon. What was this about again? Alright, it's Nintendo's answer to Halo. No, not necessarily. I kind of started thinking of Super Mario Sunshine. So basically the game is a team on team, not sure how big the teams are going to be, but you're basically big teams going around shooting paint at walls and floors to occupy areas, and then you can turn into a squid and swim in your own paint, and then the opponent's paint is going to be an obstacle. Kind of hard to explain, you gotta watch the trailer, but it looks kind of damn fun. So finally, we got one more game they showed. One more game in the digital event. And basically, it was kind of an announcement and kind of just diffuse. We're not really ready to show this game yet. They just had Shigeru Miyamoto sitting in front of a screen, a blurry screen, a very blurry screen, but you could just barely make out what was on the screen. And well, I'm going to assume it was Star Fox. I'm not sure if they exactly said it straight out. I think they did confirm it, but kind of not, because we didn't really get to see it. Okay, if that's their way of showing the game, that's fine. I mean, I suppose the game is so early in production, they're so ashamed of showing the actual graphics, they just, okay, look, this is, you can tell it's kind of Star Fox, but it might as well just be the N64 game, because it's so blurry, you can't tell the difference whether it is N64 graphics or Wii U graphics. It is that blurry, you can't see shit. Although there is one picture that's in focus, and there you can see it a little better. Not too impressive graphics there either, but nevertheless, it looks Wii U-ish. So I guess they are making it. But that's it. That's Nintendo for you. The whole digital event was super entertaining. I noticed by looking at this list, it's probably the smallest list out of the big three, but nevertheless they had the most exclusive content. And I'm also going to say they had the best conference. They had the most variety, and they were somewhat unpredictable this time around. And I just found it generally entertaining with the little stop motion animations and Satoru Iwata and Reggie fighting each other. They were having fun with themselves. I think all conferences were very good. This was a very good E3 overall. You'll probably see my impressions on Microsoft and Sony getting uploaded when I care. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you next time.
I guess this is my problem. While I go Reggie on these fools, here's what's new. Ah!